Welcome back. I'm going to have an attempt at putting the spring back in. To be truthful with you, I'm starting to succumb to the cold. It's about -7 and I've been out here for 6 or 7 hours and it's no place, truthfully, on the pavement in the cold. But hey, you know, now I've put the top wishbones in, the bottom wishbone is in. They're separate films. I've just sort of threaded the coil spring press because it takes about 10 minutes to manoeuvre it all. There are a couple of nylon washers on top of the new spring here. They came out of the old spring, and this spring's exactly the same size. So I'm going to put those back how the factory left them. There's a nice ring of copper grease. I've actually just put it in place just to hold the suspension arm. The what's that called? Can't remember what it's called. It stabilises the steering anyway. Anti-roll bar. This is the anti-roll bar, and this is the link. And I've put brand new bushers in. Now, there's the suspension, not the suspension, the shock absorber mountings in, and I've bought these there's two new nuts here. I managed to get exactly the right size, and the UNF. Now I've just got a piece of threaded bar here which I've cut up, and I've just cut a taper on the end with a grinder because this is the wrong size thread. And as a guide, I'm going to screw these into the what are they called? Into the arms, because to be honest with you, you've got very little chance without some kind of a guide of getting the pan to line up and get the nuts in, and it will be under huge tension. It'll be under so much tension there's no chance of being able to knock it about and try and force the nuts in. So these don't fit properly because they're completely the wrong thread, but I just want something that will give it a bit of a guide. And I don't know, I'm not going to spend many minutes. I'm just going to have a quick go. If this doesn't go in quickly, I'm going to abandon it and come back at it tomorrow, because honestly, I'm absolutely frozen. I'm so cold, I can't even breathe properly, if the truth be told. I've been out here for hours, and sitting on your bum in the pavement in the cold, it's, yeah. Okay, you get the idea what these are going to do. These are just, they're not going into the thread, because they're just, it's like a cone, like a taper. I've just ground it. I just want these bars, excuse me being clumsy, I'm struggling, I'm so cold, honestly. Excuse me mumbling. But yeah, so these bars are just acting as a guide, and as soon as it's close enough, I'll slide one out and get a nut in place. I'm hoping that they will be enough. And then we've got two nuts here. Right, the coil spring press is in place. On the other side of the turret, there's a nut and a wheel nut which just fits on beautifully. So here we go. Let's just apply some pressure, and hopefully this will slide upwards without any. I'm going to move my feet out of the way as well, because you never know. There's colossal pressure involved here, and several tons of pressure, and I can hear it clicking as it's clicking and slipping up the threads. I've got my nuts ready. They've got copper grease on them, so theoretically these studs here will guide it in exactly the right position. Damn, actually I think they're going to be a bit long. Am I going to have to cut these? I am, aren't I? Yes, I am. I'm going to have to cut them. That's a nuisance. Damn. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I've made them too long. One's come out. I've made them too long. The arms to the press are going to foul on here, so I do need to cut them, which is a shame. And one's come out already. Yeah. Honestly, I tell you what, I'm going to come back to this. I'm frozen. I'm going to end up having an accident. But it's clearly going to work. I've just made the studs too long. I think I'm going to. Am I going to get the? Let's have a look. No, then that one's come out already. It's quite tricky to get it back in with this thing under tension. No, that one's come out. Not to worry. I'm going to unwind it. Let's have a look. How long do I need them to be? I need to cut quite a few inches off each one. Let's just unwind it. Then I'll be able to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a disc cutter. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. Yeah. I need to let it all the way down. Get this one back in. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. But you get the idea. I'm not going to continue to film this. I'm going to get this one back in now that the thing is not under so much pressure. Come on. God, what a nuisance. I shall have to, got to bring it down even more. Okay. Yeah, I need to get this one in. I'm going to fetch a. Shall I do it with a hacksaw? Or do it properly? I don't know. Yeah, I think I will. I'm going to do it with a hacksaw. I'll do it properly. I'm going to trim them off in situ, and but I'm not going to do that on camera. It's simply going to take too long. But you get the idea of what this is going to do. These bolts will allow the pan to slide in, and I should be as I've got us at this stage. I don't want to leave it like this in the street overnight. I'm going to have to get the hacksaw, trim these, and continue the process. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll get this one and I'll just do it properly with a hacksaw. But I'm going to have to switch the camera off because that's going to take 10 minutes.